back. Time didn't stop, but it certainly hesitated. It's alright. We're not here to be healed. We're here to be unraveled. Today we cut, and then we tread. Part 1. Cut the narrative thread. You know, that sentence that loops in your head when the world goes still, when the lights are off but your brain is still clicking. The one that always starts with I always, I never, I'm just the kind of person who fill in the blanks. The kind of line that sounds like a fact, but really it's just an old injury that never healed properly. Yeah, that one. So pick 5, or 3, or 7, or as many as live in your bones today. Etch them in your mind like gravity carved into the inside of your ribcage. The kind written when no one was watching, but somehow everyone believed. Need help remembering? Of course you don't, but I'll say them anyway. I ruin everything. No one really sees me. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I can't change. I always fail when it matters. I'm not made for this world. Pick the ones that sting. They're usually the ones that stuck. Now, imagine each one written on a strip of fabric. Not clean cloth, old, worn, familiar like an old shirt you can't throw away. Some are threadbare, some stained, some folded so often you can't even read the words anymore. But your body remembers what they say. Now take them, lay them in front of you, and braid them together. Yes, together. That's how they work, isn't it? They don't exist in isolation. They tangle. One feeds the other, loops around your bread, knots around your spine. Feel the weight of that braid. Not just what the sentences say, but what they've taken from you. The sleep, the softness, the voice you swallowed so often it forgot how to rise. Let your hands remember how long you've carried this, how automatic it became to weave them into every choice, into every silence, and every I'm fine. Are you ready? Then cut right through the middle. Not angrily, not for revenge, not for closure either, because that's a myth we no longer pay rent for. Just cut, clean, precise, like removing a splinter that never belonged to your body in the first place. The silence after is the real ritual. Let it echo. Part 2. Treading the swamp. Now breathe. Not because it fixes anything, not because it feels good, but because it means you're still capable of choosing something that doesn't hurt. That counts for more than people realize. We are going to tread something new today. Not from scratch, the swamp doesn't do clean slates. But from what's already here, what survived. Find 3 things. 3 fragments of your timeline. You don't need to name them perfectly. You only need to feel their shape. 1 that reminds you of now. 1 that holds the echo of who you were. And 1 that might mean something later. Even if it feels like a question mark soaked in fog. Hold them. Physically if you want, but more importantly, let your hands believe they exist. Mine, you ask? Now, this bread. The one I keep forgetting I'm allowed to have. Past, a pebble I used to throw at my own reflection, because I thought I could shatter the part of me that I hated. Didn't work though. Future, a half-finished poem I haven't written yet, because some lines refuse to arrive until I've lived enough, until I've lived through their punctuation. Now, close your eyes, unless closing them makes you float too far. And picture a silver thread, old but unbroken. It's not pristine. It frays at the edges, smells faintly of lavender and regret, but it moves with care. It weaves through the now. It dips gently into the past, wraps itself cautiously around the almost. Not pulling, not fixing, just noticing. Let it take its time. There's no deadline in this kind of ceremony. Let it find its own rhythm. Some threads only know how to move when you stop forcing them. This isn't embroidery or art, and it isn't a memory quilt to impress your therapist. This is reclamation. You are not a gallery. You are a patchwork of weathered truths stitched together by survival. You don't owe these pieces a perfect pattern, only presence. You don't have to understand them yet. Sometimes they won't even speak the same language. but that's fine. Not everything that matters is legible right now. Just keep treading, even when your hands tremble, especially then. So, you've got what needed to be silenced. You've treaded what deserved to be remembered. You didn't force meaning. You offered it a place to land. That's all the swamp ever asks. It doesn't have to be profound. It just has to be yours. If the thread frays, let it. If it nods, name the knot. If it snaps, start again, gently. You're not starting from nothing. You're starting from here. Time bends, memory folds, grief retreads. And you don't have to. You can remain beautifully linear in your own chaos. Now, leave your braid and your thread at the edge of the swamp. You don't have to carry them. They'll sink when they're ready, or float for a while, or unravel into moss. Not everything needs to float to be free. That's enough threading for now. You don't need to tie a bow on it. Just let the ends rest, frayed, forgiven, unfinished. That's how real things are worn in. If something settled in you tonight, even just a breath you didn't realize you were holding, you can leave it here or take it with you, or forget it entirely and let your nervous system absorb it like rain on old stone. But if a thread tugged, if a sentence stitched itself under your skin, if something unspooled just enough to let the air in, then maybe say so. Not for me. I'm just a moss-draped hourglass with commitment issues. But the swamp listens best when the echoes ripple back. Leave a comment, even if it's just a little spool emoji, or a weird thought you weren't supposed to have during mindfulness. Like the video if your braid feels a little lighter. And subscribe if you want the swamp to keep whispering when the world gets too sharp. We're not here to grow faster. We're here to remember slower. Sleep if you need, drift if you must. Come back if the threads lead you here again. And just know, the swamp doesn't mark time, it just holds space. See you in the next stitch.